You have to go where the people are. I know y'all hate this because you really just want to stay in the walls of your spa. This is the magic sauce. Don't just reach out to her with the goal to get her to get on the schedule. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it is not just your practice right now. June, July, and August on record, they're just typically slower months. I've been in the medical aesthetics industry for over 15 years, and as far as I can remember, these are usually your slower months. However, I don't want you to panic because I'm going to give you some tangible things that you can do to fill the gaps, get people on your schedule, get that motion and that traction flowing back through your books. And remember, like I always say, make sure you implement, because action takers are money makers, and the gold, it's in the implementation, not the information. So I know right now everybody has shiny object syndrome. There's AI this, AI conversations. Honestly, like, we have gotten to a point now where AI and automation always comes up anytime there's a conversation about scaling or growing an aesthetics practice. Let me be honest, most aesthetic practices are sitting on thousands in missed revenue. And it's not because patients are not interested in your services. It is simply because nobody knows what to do during the downtime, during those slower moments. And that is exactly why I put together a list of 37, come a little closer, 37 revenue generating activities to get that momentum flowing back into your practice, and it allows you to fill the gaps in your schedule instantly. All you got to do is click the link in the description box below. Now let's get back into the video. Don't get me wrong, this is not an anti-AI rant. I love AI. I use it every single day in our marketing company. However, AI has its place, and AI is in places right now where it does not need to be. And I'm afraid that we have missed the plot. We've missed the whole thing about customer service. And if you are new here, hey, I'm Cheri. Welcome to my channel. I am very big, and I'm talking big, big, capital B-I-G. I am very big on the patient experience, because the patient experience is what sells. It's what gets people to refer you out, and the patient experience is what keeps people coming back. Not your booking system, not your AI tool, none of that stuff. It is literally how you make your patients feel, because people in general, they always remember how you make them feel. So you have to do the groundwork. So the things that I'm going to suggest in this video, they take a high level of interaction and customer service with your patients. I'm not here to tell you to just click a button and send out a massive text. I'm not here to tell you to make all your services 50% off and run a flash sale. I'm not here to tell you to increase ad spend. Keep the customer service integrated in whatever you do, okay? The things that I'm about to tell you, my favorite being number 3, it works like a charm every single time. These tasks, someone in your practice, they need to own. Don't just let these just fall on the checklist, just be another thing to do. That is one thing that I absolutely hate. I cannot stand a checklist person, like someone that is just gonna do what you give them on the checklist and they ain't gonna do nothing more. No, we don't need people like this on these type of tasks. We need go-getters. We need A-type personalities. We need people who are conversation starters by nature, but they still know the importance of the business. So with that being said, yes, you probably need to incentivize someone to do this. Therefore, they can be motivated to do it. Oh, and by the way, if you want to be a part of more conversations where we talk patient psychology and brand positioning and all of the hidden signals in your marketing that influence why patients choose you, then don't forget to join the HBP room, which is my new private room where we talk about brand positioning, patient psychology, client attraction, all of that and more. And to get access to the room, all you got to do is click down in the description box below and you'll be right inside. So let's go ahead and get into number 1. And I did take notes, of course, because I wanted to make sure I didn't be on here like rambling. I'm starting to feel like a lot of my YouTube videos, I'm just like rambling. I mean, and I am like giving y'all value. I want to hope I'm giving you value, but I do know like I'm a chatty catty. I can be. So I got to give myself I got to give myself somewhat of a script. And like I say, y'all, some of these are old school, but you know what? as innovative as my little brain is, the old school shit still works. Number one, run a recall report of past due patients. Everybody that's in your system, and when I say system, I'm talking your EMR, your EHR, your booking system. Everybody has a different setup. So whatever the word system means to you, run a report of all the patients. For example, if they're due for talks, you know, they hadn't been in the office. Maybe they came in one time. Maybe you did run chronic sales back in the day. This patient came in one time. Reach out to her. Don't just reach out to her, because this is the key. This is the magic sauce. Don't just reach out to her with the goal to get her to get on the schedule. Reach out to her with conversation. And this is another reason why it's important to have someone own this. There should be someone in your practice. People don't teach this anymore. There should be someone in your practice they're dropping little notes in these patients' charts, little tidbits about them. So now when you call Miss Smith to get her in, maybe that connector is you bringing up her Chanel perfume. Maybe you know that she used to walk through the lobby, and every time she walked through the lobby, you would literally smell her before you saw her. So that smell is in your mind. So you put that note in the system, and y'all, I know this is so tedious. That's why someone needs to own this. You can't just expect your $15 an hour an employee to do stuff like this. This needs to be someone inside the practice who owns this. They're leaving these little notes in the patient's chart. So when you call Miss Smith, that's your connector. That's how you're going to kind of segue the conversation. You know, hey, Miss Smith, have you brought a new perfume this month? Something that you want to tell me about? I love how when you come in here, you just smell up our whole lobby. I love that. By the way, I noticed that you are due for talks. You only came in once or twice. We have openings, blah, 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 blah. We would love to get you in. Do y'all know, like, how likely Miss Smith will be to actually schedule? Because for one, you called her. You didn't send her no AI automated message. You didn't send her a text or an email. You actually called her. You used her first name, well, if you know it, or whatever. You called her by name, and you also brought up something that was familiar, that made her feel seen and made her feel heard and just recognized and remembered. That increases the chances of Miss Smith saying, yes, sign me up for that appointment Wednesday at 9 o'clock. You see what I'm putting down? So make sure someone owns this. Make sure, again, this is someone with a great go-getter, type A personality. They understand the business, they understand conversation, and they understand getting the client on the schedule, but by way of conversation, not a hard sell. Now, I know y'all hate this because you really just want to stay in the walls of your spa, but you can no longer do that. Look, I don't care how much money you invest in marketing, thousands of dollars. You can have the best team. You can probably have the best social media, whatever, the best website. You still got to do the groundwork. You still have to go out, talk to people, size them up, judge them, if you will, whatever you want to call it. Look for opportunities to correct skin. Look for opportunities to create conversations. Connection, conversation, conversion. Go out in the local community and make this an actual thing. Like right now, because we're in grind mode, grind season. This is something that honestly should be done once a week. Go out into the local community, let people know, hey, my name is, this is what I do. I would love for you and you, bring your sister too, to come over to blah, blah, blah. I would love to have you guys. If you book within the next 30 days, we'll give you a complimentary add-on. Remember, we don't have to discount everything. And especially not new patients who don't know you. That is so desperate energy, very low vibrational, and we're not operating like that. Want to do an add-on value, stack on value, not cut in your profit margins. My favorite one, run a report in your system of all of your top spenders. I don't know your average cost per client. I don't know your numbers, so I can't give you that. I could just give you a reference. Like the last one we just did for one of our accounts, we ran a report for everyone who spent over $7,000 in the last 90 days, right? Now, once again, this is why someone needs to own this. Don't just call them with this bullshit blanket generic offer. You know, hey, Miss Smith, we want to invite you in 15% off. No, 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 no. Once again, study Miss Smith's account history. What's going on with her? Why are you going to offer her 20% off Botox when she comes in for filler? Why are you going to offer her half off a syringe when she comes in for Botox? That's why it's important to study your patients. And these are the tasks that you just cannot expect your front desk person to master and own, because 9 times out of 10, they're either too busy, they're just a paycheck collector, so they don't give a damn anyway, or it's just not something that they're great at, you just got multiple types of people in office settings. I was always one of those types of people, like, I'm all in your face, I'm asking questions, I'm customer service on level 10, very A-type personality, and that worked for me. And that's why I was a star, right? That's why I still am a star. What I want you to get from this is study the patients. So whatever you offer them, so this is the time where you can slightly offer, because they've already invested with you. This always works. But again, we need to keep it personal. We need to keep it specific, and don't just have a goal to get the patient on the schedule. Have a goal to create a conversation, and everything else just like it falls in line. I'm so serious. All right, number 4, attend events. Now, I know we are flipping the tables just a bit, because I'm always telling you guys to host events, and now I'm telling you to attend events. Events are just popping off right now. People love the interaction. People love to get outside the house. People love the community. They just love to be somewhere else. That's just the world that we are living in right now. Constantly looking at all of the med spa events. I'm actually thinking about going to one in Dallas in September, Aesthetic Next. I'm like this close to hopefully going to it. But people just love events right now. So you have to go where the people are. They're not just in your 4 walls. They're not just on social media, right? They're not. Let's just be real. They're out and about in the community. They're at vendor events. They're at galas. They're at gatherings. They're in the park. Go out. And don't just stand in the corner. Like, be strategic when you go to these events. Like, what's your elevator speech? What are you going to say? How are you going to start conversations? How are you going to scout people? Okay, so let me run through this list again, because I want to make sure you guys actually implement the things that we went over. We didn't talk about chronic discounts, promotions, and flash sales. We didn't say we needed to run more ads and increase our ad spend, because some of y'all are not ready for ads anyways. I made a video about that. Go watch it. I'm giving you guys tangible things that you could do that involve a heavy level of interaction in a world that AI is just trying to take over. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. Run a recall report of all your past due patients and get them in. Start conversation. Physically get outside. Go into the local community. Make this a thing that you do once a week. Take flowers, take a sweet treat, take cookies, take something. Please don't show up in these people's businesses empty-handed, asking for stuff. You got to give a little to get some. Number 3, high spenders. Run a report of your top spenders. 7K over the last 90 days. Call them with a specific offer. Y'all, I'm telling you, if you get someone to own this, incentivize them and tell them for every person that books and completes the treatment, not just book, okay? We want them to come in and complete the treatment. They will get whatever, $100 gas card, $500 gift card to Ulta, whatever. The last thing, attend events. Host events, yes. If you don't know how to host events, I have a med spa event plan and checklist. I'll link below. But also attend events. Get, your team, y'all, you have to make time for this stuff. Like I said in the beginning, I'm afraid that a lot of practice owners, they just sit and they think because they have the credentials, they have the beautiful office, they have the Instagram, the website popping and all those things, that people just are supposed to come to you. And again, I don't care how much money you invest in marketing, in ads, in a building, in team training, in technology, you still have to do the groundwork. You still got to talk to people. I remember one time I had a client, because MDs, they are infamous for this, because they're not used to talking to people. They're used to the insurance companies sending patients. The patients already don't want to be there. They're just trying to get through it. very little conversation interaction. But nowadays, you have to talk to your patients, you have to educate them. And I remember I had a client one time, she was like, telling me the patient wanted 10 units of Botox. And she's like, well, she's not going to get the look that she wants with 10 units. I don't think I should have to tell her that. She should already know that. No, ma'am. That is your job, okay? Yes, I know you're used to people just flopping in your chair, but now that you have tapped into aesthetics, you got to educate. You got to give people enough information so that they can make an informed, educated decision. Here, what does it? Keep the social and social media, keep the customer service heavily integrated within your patient experience, okay? So I hope you guys learned something from today's video. If you learned anything, let me know what you learned in the comments. Let me know what you're going to try, what you're going to stop doing. And come follow me on Instagram. I would love to see you guys there. Also, don't forget about HVP. It's my private room for aesthetic providers where I teach you exactly how to stop attracting price shoppers. More information on that is in the comments below. And I will see y'all in the next video. Now I'm about to go take a shower because I just got back from the gym. And I was like reciting this video in my head on the treadmill. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna take a shower. I'm just gonna wash my face. I'm gonna sit down. I put a little bit of vitamin C so I can be bright or whatever. And I'm gonna record this video. So now I'm about to go take a shower. I got a little bit of client work I got to do. And then I am preparing for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be great. I'm vlogging the entire trip. All right, I'll see y'all next in St. Augustine.